Hello, we are Group 2 from Tutorial 101. Our group members include Carlos, Joanna, Mary, Peter, Ayushi, and myself, Isaac. For this assignment, we have chosen the website for University of Advancing Technology, which is a post-secondary university based in the United States. The main problem stems from the university's intentions to build an innovative, unique website that seemingly showcases the prowess of the school's advanced education, but ends up with overwhelming content that is badly structured and often requires extended efforts to read through category labels and large bodies of content. In addition, common elements and best practices of information sorting, web design, and content grouping are often ignored in favor of unique visual experiences that are only aesthetically pleasing rather than helping users perform key tasks. The current context of users entering or landing on the site include users that are performing a web search for a potential post-secondary school that specializes in technology fields, along with the users that may be referred by educational professors or advisors. Users would be looking to navigate through different content pages of the site, such as how to apply and types of degrees and resources, sorting through different categories of academic programs, and cross-linking to related lateral segments of the website. The primary audience that is being considered for the above tasks would be high school students that are prospective applicants, along with current students of the university, as the website serves as a primary source of information about the programs and degrees along with other school-related content. In addition to students, other users could include parents, relatives to students, and education staff who would have similar tasks and priorities as students in mind when using the website. Additional stakeholders could include faculty and administrative staff who are looking to have as much detailed information as possible within their respective pages while being able to reference content as quickly as possible and without too many steps. Web developers and designers are also looking to improve and innovate on best practices for web design and user experience and would be looking to provide a consistent and well-structured website that minimizes the amount of broken experiences and misguiding users. Benefactors and school ranking websites would be drawing information to inform choices about the school's program quality, benefits, admission details, and require clear ways of navigating to specific types of information.
As part of our journey to investigate the mental model of our typical users, we conducted a card sorting study. Using the result, we would then be able to generate ideas and propose potential changes in order to recommend high-level changes to improve the navigation and content sorting experience. There were 20 cards to be tested, and the entire study was conducted online using optimal sort, where the facilitator guided the participant through the intention, goal, and overall procedure of the study. Our participants consisted of 1 undergrad and 4 grad students who were recruited from University of Toronto via a student pool. 2 out of participants knew of the website previously, while 1 participant had interacted with it before. A standardizational grade was generated after the card sort study from the Optimal Sort website. The green boxes show where the current card was placed into the navigation hierarchy on the UAT website. The shaded blue boxes are the placement from study participants. The darker shaded blue indicate high-level agreement among respondents, while the lighter shaded blue indicate low agreement. To standardize the agreement, we define a high level of agreement among participants to be more than or equal to 4 responses, and low level of agreement among participants to be less than 4 responses. We noticed that there were 5 cards with an agreement of 5/5 and 6 cards with an agreement of 4/5. As we can see in the diagrams, while sorting cards into categories, participants showed 100% agreement when grouping academic calendar and academic catalog into academics, and also view all degrees and view all master's degrees into degrees. 2 new categories were created by 1 participant. For example, the student housing and see the campus were sorted into a new category called Campus Life. Transfer credit was put into current students or administrative. However, these 2 categories will not be applied due to lack of strong data supporting the change. In summary, There are no major changes for the high agreement card except for the important numbers, which seems to cause confusion owing to both labeling and categorization. While in the low agreement cards, use of uncommon words, mismatched keywords in category name, and irrelevance with existing categories cause lack of clarity for the participants.
Based on the card sort results, we redesigned the UAT website's global navigation schematic. Showing the first iteration of changes from before to after, our key recommendations included the following. First was moving academic calendar, which is currently under the admissions category, to be under academics, because not only does it match with the rest of the content in its new category, but also because all 5 of our participants unanimously categorized it under that new label. Next was moving See the Campus, that is currently under admissions, to be under the student experience category. This helps with both familiarity and making the language more scannable. We also suggested renaming the page to Campus Tour to accurately reflect the page's content, especially when our participants categorize it under About UAT, Admissions, Unsure, and even News and Events, suggesting the original label did not provide adequate information to users on what content they may expect. Currently, the transfer credits page has the exact same content as the admissions requirements page, making it redundant with duplicate info. So we suggested separating transfer credits content out into a page of its own while it was still under the original admissions category in hopes to reduce the information overload on the current admissions requirement page and also to improve the experience for a user looking for specific information about transferring. We suggested changing the label for featured alumni to be alumni so it better informs a user of what they can expect to see on the page and avoid any confusion created from the word featured as was noticed during our study. While the featured faculty category was not in our card sort study, we anticipated a similar confusion and suggested combining it with another related page named featured staff and changing the name to faculty and staff instead. Alumni was moved from its admissions category to student experience, staff was moved from About UAT to academics, and faculty remains in its original category, academics. For UAT Online, we wanted to solve the ambiguous nature of the label not aligning to its content. So we proposed to rename it as Online Learning and leave it under its current category, academics. Despite the lack of consensus among the participants for the UAT Tech blog and potential confusion it may cause for users, we suggested not changing the label or category for this page to ensure consistency with the web page that it links to. Currently, this redirects the user to an external web page outside of UAT's domain. The synchronic learning page is related to academics, and despite the lack of clarity for the participants, we suggested leaving it as is under the academics category, as it is a page for a UAT-specific brand, meaning we will not be able to change its labels. Users may find more information by visiting the page. And finally, we proposed removing social feeds from the global navigation altogether because the name suggests it has content from multiple social media sources, but it only shows tweets from a single UAT Twitter account. It is a redundant page because all of UAT's social media accounts are linked in the footer navigation anyway. Additionally, there was no unanimous choice made by the participants.
The low-fidelity sketches illustrate the before and after of 2 test flows that were used in our first usability test. The most evident change in our proposed redesign of the website's navigation elements is that we have corrected the horizontal scrolling behavior into a vertical format, consistent with best practices and standards. This will help orient the user and their ability to navigate and scan content. We separated some of the navigation elements that did not make sense as part of a main navigation into its own role, such as the Apply button and search features, which provides a contextual separation of the IA category. We also relabeled some items, such as Contact from Request Info, to help encompass multiple contact options. The content categories remained unchanged, but we have proposed many pages to be reorganized under each category. In addition, some pages were relabeled for easier recognition and understanding. based on our assumptions about typical user task flows and pages that have high value and traffic. We recommend adding pathways on the homepage to specific categories of the website in order to help users trace down the correct journey to information they're looking for. This would mean creating new Level 2 landing pages which have several benefits that are tangible for both the user and the university. In regards to page content, we have revised and recommended separating out blocks of content to help break up the density of the existing content experience and provide better scannability across page headers and elements. The main advantage compared to the existing site is reducing time to content and improving reading experience, which results in users being able to find information faster and complete their desired tasks. This could result in the increase of applicants to the school and its facilities, and increase the potential revenue and the uptake of services.
Our TreeJack test was conducted using Optimal Workshop with our initial proposed IA diagram. The test was conducted with 12 participants who were all representative users of the website, including undergraduate students and graduate students currently enrolled in a university. 7 of the tests were conducted in person during a working studio of the INF 2170 course, and 5 tests were conducted online by sending the test link to participants. Overall, the success rating of our tasks leaned towards a highly successful revised navigation, with a median number of 83% success rate, with the exception of one task, Task 4, that showed a much lower percentage of success. The most successful task that had a success rate of 100% and a directness of 92% was users finding how much student housing costs after we had separated it out as its own item. This proves that the redesign for this category was successful, and the users now find it easier to find information on housing costs. As a result of the success rating and ease of use for our participants, we will not be making any changes to the IA for this task nor the current placement of the content. All other tasks had a success rating ranging from 67 to 83%, with varying degrees of directness ranging from 33% to 75% for these 4 tasks. Some high-level observations from this tree test, which were complemented by in-person feedback from some testing participants, were that users are actively seeking labels in language that resonates with their task directly. As an example, during the task to find scholarship options, we noticed participants were looking for the keyword scholarship and did not seem to associate scholarship with tuition, where the content currently lives. This helps highlight the current behavior of users who are looking for familiar or recognizable labels to guide their navigation. As a result of this, we've made updates to our proposed IA design to further separate specific topics into their own navigational items and recommend content splitting to make specific topics findable through both site navigations, which was the case for the successful student housing task. The task with the least amount of success in this tree test was to find the faculty list, uncovering the lack of alignment in mental models of our participants. Whether they were looking under academics, about UAT, or even the contact page, there was no clear path forward for us to provide an updated recommendation for this. However, we would recommend solving this by having better linking to the faculty and staff page for multiple areas of the site to bring up visibility for this page. Further testing will be required with more participants to refine our recommendations and determine the best fit for this page. After analyzing the tree test results and further discussion on how to improve the content and navigation experience to help make content more findable and easy to digest, we further iterated on our proposed IA and restructuring of website content.
Overall, our tree test results confirmed the changes we had already made rather than mandate any additional ones. Even in tasks with more split results, we still found a slight majority of participants agreeing with our current change after filtering out outlier results. Still, we continue making minor adjustments with the website's IA schemes. Organizationally, we relocated Level 3 pages so that the global navigation followed a topic-oriented scheme instead of a mix of task and topic-oriented schemes that proved difficult for users to switch between. Labeling-wise, we removed terminology that was confusing to users, made sure they accurately reflected the content of their page, and made wording more consistent across labels and page headings. Navigationally, the global menu was stripped down from 11 to 7 options to prevent overcrowding. Landing pages for the Level 2 categories were also added to assist users who may not have a specific goal in mind but want to explore the available content. To illustrate some further redesigns, here are 3 task flows we prototyped. First is when a user needs to find the housing cost for the UAT dorm. As you can see in our home page, we flipped the page layout so that it scrolls vertically instead of horizontally. Consequently, the global navigation is also now a horizontal bar in the top of each page to be more in line with web design trends. Along with 4 functional Level 2 categories like login and contact us, the search bar that was originally in the global navigation was also moved to the header navigation to improve visibility. Now back to the task. The user hovers over Student Experience and clicks Student Housing to arrive on the page. The Student Housing page is one of the more content-heavy pages on UAT that requires a lot of scrolling. To organize the page, we turned each section into Level 4 sub-pages that are summarized on the Student Housing page. If more information is needed, users can click these section headers to learn more on these Level 4 pages. In the task flow to find available scholarships, the user goes through the similar process of locating the scholarships and grants page under admissions. One thing we'd like to bring attention to here is the addition of a local navigation bar and a back to the top button in every Level 3 page. This provides consistent options for the user to navigate through long and wordy pages. Finally, the introduction of breadcrumbs also let users know where they currently are in the website IA, which is useful when exploring such a dense website and also assists users who are landing outside of the home page. Finally is the flow to search for a particular professor at UAT. The user navigates using the global navigation bar and clicks the newly created faculty and staff page under academics. To cater to the unique content on this page, we added a search and filter function to help users sift through the large number of faculty and staff at UAT. The filter is also an interactive filter that automatically updates the results based on user input.
Through our redesign, we believe that we have successfully improved the clarity of UAT's navigation scheme. Our main focus is to ensure that we leverage existing user mental models and provide easy, unambiguous ways for them to understand and navigate content through our various types of changes, including relabeling content and expanding information architecture to include more levels for detail pages. As our tree test helps to highlight, this can increase the likelihood that users are able to search for information easily and complete their tasks. Minor adjustments were made, such as the combining or dividing of certain labels or pages to make sure each page is at an acceptable volume, and given further time and capacity, we would continue to analyze other sections and related microsites to build further consistency. Overall, our new navigation scheme is clearer and more navigable, and information is better organized in ways that the average UAT visitor would expect to find them, leading to a much better experience. We hope you enjoyed this presentation, and thank you for watching.